We spend so much of our lives online, clicking, scrolling, liking. But have you ever stopped to think about what actually makes a website, well, click? What's the secret ingredient that turns a boring page into something you can actually interact with? Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain and look at the magic behind it all. Seriously, have you ever wondered what's going on behind the scenes when you do all that stuff, clicking, scrolling, sharing? It feels instant, almost like magic, right? But it's not magic. It's a really powerful and honestly kind of elegant language that's working super hard in the background to make everything happen.
I mean, think about it for a second. When you like a photo, or you fill out a contact form, or maybe you're watching a sports score update live on the screen, you're not hitting the refresh button, are you? Nope. All those smooth, instant little moments are powered by the exact thing we're diving into. It's basically the heartbeat of the modern interactive web. In that magical language, it's called JavaScript. The source material for this whole explainer just nails it with this analogy. JavaScript is the brain of a website. That is the perfect way to think about it. It's the part that does the thinking, the part that adds logic and reacts to what you do. It's what turns a flat, boring document into a living, breathing experience.
Okay, so if JavaScript is the brain, well, a brain can't do much without a body, right? And that's the key here. JavaScript is super powerful, but it doesn't work in a vacuum. It's actually one part of a team, a trio of technologies that build pretty much every single website you've ever used. And this body analogy is just fantastic for understanding how it all fits together. So, first up, you've got HTML. Think of that as the skeleton. It gives the website its basic structure, its bones. Then you've got CSS. That's the skin, the hair, the clothes. It's all the styling, the colors, the fonts, what makes it look good. And then finally, you bring in JavaScript, the brain, which makes the whole thing move, think, and interact.
And the difference it makes is, well, it's night and day. Without JavaScript, a website is basically just a digital poster. Sure, it looks nice, you can read it, but you can't do anything with it. It's static. But the moment you add JavaScript, that poster comes to life. It becomes a dynamic application that actually responds to you. Buttons start working, content updates, it's a total game changer.
All right. So we've established JavaScript is the brain. But what can this brain actually do? What are its superpowers? Let's get into the specifics of how it makes a website feel so alive. So, how does the brain work? How does it actually do anything? Well, it all boils down to a really simple but incredibly powerful process of listening and then reacting. It's kind of like a little three-step dance that's always happening. Step 1, you do something. You click a button, you scroll a page, you type into a box. In the coding world, they call that an event. Step 2, the JavaScript code is always listening, and it hears that event happen. And then boom, step 3, it responds. Instantly. The page changes right in front of you, and you didn't even have to hit refresh. It's amazing. And the list of things it can do is just huge. I mean, it can change the words you're reading on a page. It can make a button change color when your mouse goes over it. It can check if you typed a valid email address before you hit submit. It creates all those cool sliders and pop-ups and animations. Oh, and here's the really big one. It can go grab new information from a server somewhere and update the page without you ever having to reload. That's how you get live feeds and instant updates. But, here's where the story gets really cool. JavaScript started its life inside web browsers, but it was too useful to stay there. It totally broke out. Its flexibility means it has popped up in almost every single corner of the technology world. So yeah, it's still the undisputed king of what developers call front-end web development. That's the stuff you see and interact with. But look at this. Thanks to things like Node.js, it now runs the back-end too, the servers and databases behind the scenes for massive companies. People use it to build mobile apps for your phone, real desktop applications for your computer, and even video games. It has seriously become one of the most universal programming languages on the planet. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds super complicated, but here's the best part about JavaScript. It's actually really approachable. You absolutely do not need to be some kind of super genius to get started and begin making cool things yourself. And honestly, this might be the most important thing to remember from all of this. Every single expert coder out there started out exactly the same way. As a total beginner, probably just staring at a blank screen, wondering where to even start. That whole massive world of programming, it all starts with one tiny, single line of code. And here it is. This is that first step. There's this long-standing tradition in programming. Whenever you learn a new language, the very first thing you do is make the computer say, "Hello world." It's like a rite of passage. And in JavaScript, this one little line is all it takes.
It looks simple, but that one command is your first big leap into a whole new universe of creating things. And after that hello world moment, the path forward is actually pretty well defined. You start with the real basics, the rules of the language. Then you learn how to actually change things on a web page, which has a fancy name, DOM manipulation. Before you know it, you're pulling in data from other websites using APIs. And then you graduate to using these powerful toolkits called frameworks, like React, to build incredibly complex apps. It's a journey for sure.
So let's circle all the way back to that one key idea from the source material, because it's just so good. If you walk away with only one thing today, let it be this. HTML provides the bones, the skeleton. CSS provides the skin and the clothes. But JavaScript is the brain. It's the part that makes it all think and move and come alive.
That's it, really. It's the engine that runs the entire interactive web, from the simplest little like button to the most complicated applications you use every day. So I'll just leave you with this one question. Now that you've met the brain, what are you going to build with it?